Here we have a website that I created from scratch called playlisters.com or playlistr.com. I purchased both domains. On playlisters.com, visitors may submit their tracks to curators for consideration, and if the playlist curators like those submissions, they might place them on their Spotify playlists. Each time a link is being submitted, it goes through evaluation. A programmed routine checks to see if the links are valid and other parameters. If the link passes verification, it is automatically sent to all the curators participating in the program, which are currently around 250, as you can see here. Most of them are away, inactive, on vacation, non-operational. Some might not pay attention to the emails, and some eventually might listen to the track but not bother reacting. And finally, some very few curators will listen to the track and place it on their playlists. But typically those are very few out of the total 250. Anyway, the track is being sent automatically through email to all curators participating in the program. The platform encourages the submitters to authorize the Spotify API before submitting a song for consideration. By authorizing the Spotify API, they automatically follow our promoted playlists. There is nothing else to worry about concerning the Spotify API. No one can hack your account. Those promoted playlists belong to the curators that applied for the platform. The curators get an email on each new submission for considering placing the submitted track to their playlists in exchange with promotion and growth of those playlists by the platform. And the way those playlists are promoted and grown is that each submitter, by authorizing the Spotify API, he automatically follows those playlists. Now, I want to point out here that even if the submitter does not authorize the Spotify API, the procedure still goes on. The email is still being sent to curators. That is why the platform sends an additional email just to ensure that submitters will help us back by following the playlists if they didn't authorize the Spotify API and did not automatically follow those playlists. Visitors are getting a service for free here, so it is reasonable to provide something in return, which could be a follow, a share of the playlist that might possibly host their track. So that is how things work for the submitters or else for the music producers. How things work for the playlist curators. What happens when you submit a playlist? When someone submits a playlist, it goes through manual evaluation. First, we check if the followers are real. There are several ways to examine if a playlist is legit, or if, for example, someone bought 1000 inactive followers that never stream the indexed songs. If we conclude that the playlist is legit, we send an email to that curator offering him to join the program, which means that if he accepts to enter the program, he will get a new email on each new submission, if of course the selected genre is similar to the genre of his playlists. For example, if a curator has only hip-hop playlists, he will get an email only each time a producer submits a hip hop song in the platform. If the curator has synthwave and cyberpunk playlists, he will get an email each time someone submits synthwave or cyberpunk tracks. He won't be getting all the emails, only those that match his preferred style of music. What benefit those curators have? Well, as explained earlier, curators typically provide 1 or 2 playlists to us for promotion and growth. And that means that we promote those playlists through the platform. Depending on the deal, we might place a banner of the promoted playlists, or we might place a playlist in the automatic following program that I described earlier. And then the playlist will automatically be followed each time a person submits a song. We also run Google Ads pointing to the website, and the website gets both organic but also targeted traffic, because the ads we run are targeted to producers, to Spotify playlist curators, and in general to Spotify enthusiasts. So some people are just listeners looking for a good playlist, and they just might click on the banner and listen to a featured playlist. That is more or less how the platform works. I made this platform entirely on my own. But anyway, this project was not something fancy. The code is relatively simple. There are some key elements that you need to study in order to create a website like that. One is the interaction with the Spotify app or any given API that you are trying to implement. And the second key is an automatic mailing system and perhaps some database knowledge to categorize the genres of music and send emails to curators accordingly. Curators that are tagged with this specific genre of music. Anyway, I won't get into details as the purpose of this tutorial is not learning programming but showing off the site only to generate some traffic. I made this tutorial to advertise this platform and let people know about it. They can submit their tracks for free. There is no cost involved with the process other than perhaps tipping for faster indexing. The site has been up for a few months. It has generated some pretty nice results so far. It helped some guys grow their playlists from 10 to 600 followers. There is no point growing a playlist furthermore through this platform because the majority of the followers generated by this platform followed those playlists only to submit a song, and they might possibly not be regular listeners. The people who clicked on the banners though might be regular recurring listeners. The point of growing a playlist with real listeners up to a certain point is because it helps the playlist show up in the search results. If someone types Psytrance, for example, the playlists with the most followers will show up on top. So the more followers your playlist has, the higher it will appear on the results. The service is totally free of charge, but you can help us out and speed up the process by donating an amount. A $5 tip would be perfectly fine and will definitely bring results, at least for the moment. We are currently getting 10 to 50 submissions per day. When I say we, I mean me and my associates. I sometimes have local associates or sometimes I outsource work. So that was it. I'm working on something much bigger lately. I will be ready to present it to you in a few months or weeks. Stay tuned.